Husband told me he doesn't like me anymore, and now I'm falling for his friend. My husband and I have been married for 2 years, and we've been together for 5. We're both 28, and I honestly don't even know where to begin. Lately, my husband has been making a lot of changes in his life. He quit one of his 2 jobs. He's almost finished with his degree, and he's trying to lose weight. I've tried my best to support him through all of this, but for the past few weeks, it's felt like he's been distancing himself from me. One thing that really stood out during this time was how close he became to his coworker. They would text each other every day, and it made me feel insecure about their friendship. I told him how I felt, and he offered to show me their texts, saying they mainly just send each other memes. Then he would talk to me about her relationship problems, and I'd give advice through him. But he stopped opening up to me about his own feelings, saying he was exhausted and needed to de-stress. He stopped trying to spend time together. He became short with me, started ditching me on hikes, and did a bunch of smaller things that I couldn't ignore anymore. Then, one night, after crying myself to sleep, I asked him, "Do you still even like me?" He stayed quiet and said he needed to sort out his feelings. I realized then that he didn't even say he still liked me, so I pointed that out. And then came the flood of apologies. It hit me that I was in a marriage where my husband doesn't like me anymore. So I left, and I've been staying with my parents since. All this happened during the summer when I was taking a really hard STEM class. In this class, I met one of his friends, someone I'll call Tommy. We'd never met before because they were more acquaintances than friends. Tommy noticed that something was off about me during class, so he asked if I was okay. After class, I told him everything that had happened. He was ready to confront my husband, but I asked him not to. Even though I appreciated the support, he made me laugh, and for the first time in a while, I felt a little better. Tommy and I also work together at the same company, though in different departments. Since then, he's invited me to lunch almost every day, and we talk a lot. We've been texting too, although not as often because we're both bad at it. During this time apart, my husband and I decided to go on a break until November. We agreed not to date other people, hang out once every 2 weeks, and have limited communication. It was his proposal, and I agreed. Last Friday, we were supposed to hang out, but I got injured and was bedridden. I forgot about our plans, and he texted me asking for my ETA. I called him to explain, and we ended up talking for hours. The next day, he brought me my favorite snacks, my Switch, and a bowl of my favorite meal he had prepared. It was the most he had done for me in months. While I was stuck in bed, Tommy noticed I wasn't at work and texted to see if I was okay. He even offered to bring me things after work, but I declined because I felt gross. Since then, he's been texting me more often, sometimes teasing me. I'm not sure what to do anymore. At first, I wanted to work things out with my husband, but now I'm wondering if we're even good together. I can't tell if my judgment is clouded because I think I'm falling for Tommy, or if I'm just projecting my feelings for my husband onto him. To clarify, Tommy and I aren't sleeping together, and we work in different departments. He's in IT, and I'm in accounting. He's also not looking for a relationship, and if my husband and I do break up, I don't plan on dating anyone seriously until after I finish my bachelor's degree in the spring of 2026. Before we decided on the break, we saw our marriage counselor, who suggested we just break up, but we didn't want to do that, so we agreed on the break until November. We chose November because we both took a week off work then. Back in January, we thought that, no matter what happened, having a week to recover would be best. As for why we haven't seen another counselor, navigating our insurance has been difficult. After reading some of the comments, I realized that being apart isn't really fixing anything. So, earlier today, I went back to our home. I'm still paying half the mortgage since moving out. After all, that's when I found him and her walking around our neighborhood, holding hands. When he got home, I confronted him. I told him I felt disrespected that she was in our home, where my things still are. He argued that it's his home too and he can invite whoever he wants. That's it. I'm getting a divorce. He cheated. A part of me knew he was cheating, which is why I wasn't surprised. I had braced myself for the worst for the past 6 weeks, so I just feel numb. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to my story and offer advice. It's been very insightful. I'll update you when we hang out next Saturday.